Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is Proverbs 351. Proverb today is God works in mysterious ways. Okay, somebody wants a screenshot, do it now. Let's get right to it. If someone says that God works in mysterious ways, it can be used in two ways. The first way is similar to the phrase that is a blessing in disguise. When at first something seems like bad luck, only later to realize that because of that bad experience, it helps to cause something better or more prosperous to happen. The second use often expresses confidence and faith that although one cannot clearly see a solution to a conundrum or why this bad situation is happening, as long as one is following the proper or moral behavior, is to trust God's plan or direction, meaning, well, even though I can't figure this out, this is beyond me, this is beyond my ability to think, there must be a reason, there must be a plan behind it. So it's kind of meant in that sense. Okay. There may be a purpose we cannot see, that may be beyond our vision or our understanding. All right, let's continue. The origin of the phrase derives from a poem written by William Cowper. According to the story, William Cowper tried to commit suicide by drowning himself in the river Thames, in Britain. He noticed a man watching him, so he decided to go home to do it in private. He tried to commit suicide twice more that night, but each time he was interrupted. He found help in a mental institution and found God there. All right, this is kind of a situation where he tried to commit suicide, but he was stopped. I don't know, did God have a hand in that? Was God using that person to just stare at him to make him stop, to make him think? Did God have something to do with the two other times he tried to commit suicide, make it not happen? I don't know, but this is the way we use the expression that God works in mysterious ways. All right, let's continue. God does not often work in a direct way. He sometimes uses other people, not always people you would expect to show or lead us. So a lot of times it's complete strangers. Sometimes it's not even people you think of as good people. Sometimes you think it might be people with bad qualities, but yet somehow they may be used. And those people themselves may not realize that they are being used as well. All right, let's continue. Sometimes it could be in a message or in a line in a book one picks up. One that you just happen to come upon in a movie or an email. Yeah, again, especially if you're trying to find an answer to something or something, maybe, again, you're asking God and just suddenly, for some reason, you've seen this, you just open it. It was right on that page you opened. First thing you looked at. It could be something like that, or something that came out of the mouth of a little child that you weren't expecting. It could be something like that. This is the sense that we sometimes say God works in mysterious ways. Okay. All right, let's continue. Okay. There's the line. Right, good. If one tries to pray or talk to God with seriousness, you don't always, you could always try just direct communication with God. You don't have to go to the church. You don't have to work through a priest or something like that. Try to talk to him yourself. That's kind of the idea behind that. So if you talk and you pray with seriousness, not in a flippant way, not like joking or not serious, then, there's a chance you might get an answer. Sometimes it may present itself if one is keen enough to notice it. Okay, good. All right, and we have a couple of examples here to kind of, clarify this idea. So for a long time, I tried to find a partner, but it was in vain. This might be some woman talking. Then I prayed to God for help. I soon after got fired. But while I was standing in the unemployment line, I met my future husband. God works in mysterious ways. So this would be an example of the way you may hear it used. Number 2, John Newton, the author of the song Amazing Grace. I mentioned him in a few other videos. Used to work on a slave ship, and he used to think of himself as he was a really bad guy. He used to curse and do terrible things and stuff like that. One day, the ship he worked on got caught in a storm, and he prayed for God to help him survive. Yeah, he went to the top. I think another guy went to the top first and got washed away and died. And then he fought the whole night. Not easy to survive, and he did survive, but it changed him. Later, he changed his ways and became a preacher, and this is a way that probably even he would say God works in mysterious ways. It has a way of changing people. But sometimes we have to go through adversity. We have to go through bad times sometimes to be shown the way or find the answer. So in this sense, God works in mysterious ways. All right, number 3 here. There are many stories on the internet of people asking God for a sign to find an answer. Then within a day or two, they will encounter something that seems like an answer. And this way we might say God works in mysterious ways. Something will just come upon and they'll think to themselves, oh my God, was that it? Is that real? That can't have been just a coincidence. You might think that way. This is how we use the phrase, God works in mysterious ways. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it's clear. I hope it was informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.